We didn't even get Martin settled in there. Get him a drink and food before all this, like we normally do. If he comes running in, he comes running in. That's whatever it is. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Unchained with me, Paul Gomez.
DJ Moore.
Anyway, this is just another episode where we're still in our practice stage. We really didn't think we were going to hit our stride until September. This is a little bit more of getting out there, getting this stuff online, having a little bit of content so people can actually go to that YouTube and find some of the stuff. But we're going to run it just like we were running a regular show, which is, talking about some topics. From time to time, we'll have a guest or whatnot. Hey, dude, are we going to have the comments and stuff up there so I can see them? Or are we
Whenever
waiting for
they start coming? Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if it told you they I didn't know they do the Burleson thing. Yeah. Anyway, we're sponsored by Geek Out in Burleson, Texas. What are you laughing at? What, telling you what to do?
Yeah.
Well, you should know this stuff by now. We're on then why aren't you doing it?
Because my hair is amazing.
Your hair is a mess. It's a mess. This is why I wear the hat. See, so they can see my fabulous hair.
Your hat that you stole from me.
Whatever.
Hat that you stole.
You got 100 of them. I got this one. Don't take this hat from me. Anyway, we're going to talk about a whole list of items. We did have a guest, but unfortunately there were a few things that kind of happened and they had to go deal with some other stuff. But hopefully we'll have him on sometime in the near future.
Not next week. I got stuff next week.
Do you got stuff next week? I got a guest next week.
Hopefully my stuff ends before we start.
What do you got?
I got to check my theater stuff.
You got a date?
No.
Without me?
Not theater.
Theater stuff.
Yeah,
to be or not to be? That is Dylan's question. The list of topics is about 4 or 5 long. We wanted to start with Blue Beetle. We went out to see that the other night.
Yeah.
How do you really feel about it?
It was an okay movie. I liked it.
Okay. It was okay.
It was good. It was better than The Flash.
See, I don't know about that. It was right about there.
It was better than The Flash.
Like I said, the cameos in The Flash.
If a movie stands on cameos, then it's not a movie.
Hey, how can you not take something that's in it for granted? It's part of the movie.
You could still just pick up a whole bunch of people off the street, put them in there.
Then why didn't Blue Beetle do that?
That's what they did.
And it wasn't that good.
Imagine they switched it around. What if they did that?
It would have been better.
Yeah, so much better. Wouldn't you agree?
They didn't switch it around. Blue Beetle was okay. I wouldn't say it was good. It was okay. I thought it had, and I'm not going to try to spoil anything. I'm just going to kind of vaguely go over a few things. I think it had a lot of dad jokes it missed. Me personally, it was like every 10 jokes, one of them was good. Yeah.
He was also asleep.
Yeah. Well, it was that boring. Don't get me wrong, it had its points. I mean, if you're going to go see it, hey, give it a chance. To me, it had a lot of subtitles.
Yeah.
I'm not one to shy away from subtitles, but I just didn't feel like they were
necessary.
At the right spots, necessary, done correctly. I love Pan's Labyrinth. If anyone's ever seen that entire thing is subtitled. Love it. What is that one on Netflix? The Games or whatever.
Games.
Where they're killing each other.
Squid Games.
Squid Games. See, that's wasn't that subtitled?
Yeah.
I like that.
It was either subtitled or you can watch them while their mouths were moving. It's just different words.
Oh, really? I think I watched it subtitled. Anyway, I don't mind subtitles. I think it was messed up in Blue Beetle, some of the timing of it. But then again, that was my observation of it. And then the way they dealt with the big bad in it to me, it could have been better.
I thought they dealt with him great.
Well, you're wrong. Anyway, like I said, it was okay. It wasn't bad. It was okay.
It was good.
He thought it was good, borderline good.
I think it was better.
If
It's better than the Flash. I mean, that's all I know.
if it goes to another movie, that's coal. I mean, if it goes on to the DCEU, that's cool too. But I
I
mean,
hope it goes on to both.
I don't know.
Both.
Did you hear? And this is another topic I wanted to talk about. Did you hear about the Godzilla show that they're going to have on Apple Plus?
No.
So they're supposed to be doing a Godzilla show. It's called something else.
Show?
Yeah, it's a show. I don't know if you've seen any of those shows on Apple Plus, but man, there's some good shows on there.
I haven't even went on Apple Plus.
I don't know why not. We've had it for like 3 months.
I
You
know,
should
I
have
just
checked it.
never-
I'm about to cancel it. I mean, except for this Godzilla and this other show called Rising or something. They got this show called the Silo, and then they, of course, Ted.
Ted Bundy or not Bundy.
Not Ted Bundy. The
Uh,
soccer player
yeah,
guy.
I know
That
what
was
you're
that's
talking
real good, real funny, real good and funny show.
I heard it was.
Yeah, I mean that Apple Plus does have some good shows.
I
on.
just need the password. Let's hang out live on stream.
Yeah, let's hand out the password. What is it?
I have no clue.
Because I forgot it too. That's why I'm gonna cancel. I'm like, I don't want to put in the password or put forgot password, so I'll just cancel it and renew it a month or two later. Then I'll have a whole new password.
I'll have to do the
But
password
they're
thing.
supposed to be doing a Godzilla show on there.
I don't know how that's going to be. That's
Dude.
kind of.
All the shows on Apple Plus have been really good though that I've seen. I don't know. I didn't think they were going to be that good, but they were.
I mean, Godzilla's just an odd one to pick.
You don't like Godzilla?
I mean, I like Godzilla, but like most of his movies are like quick in and out. Like you can't make a show out of it.
I think they made a show out of it a long time ago. I could be wrong, but I mean, they got comics, so why couldn't they make a show out of it?
I don't know. I just don't see it as a show.
Yeah, maybe give it a try or two and see how it goes. But I mean, how dare you? He just erased something in the back screen. Speaking of the back screens, I wanted to talk about a few of the comics, including PTSD.
PTSD.
Of course, this is one of the biggest selling comics of ours, and we're going to have it at our next convention, which is coming up. College Station in about 2.5 weeks.
Oh, hi there, Dad.
Hello.
Hi there to Martin. Martin.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yes.
You could have put it on there. There you go.
Martin, what you doing?
College Station is going to be coming in about 2.5 weeks. We're going to have hopefully all my books there. PTSD is definitely going to be there. But there it is, September 9th and 10th, and you can see all of my book titles right there. We're still working on Prelude to Aurora, and I just got the last of the art. I think I'm waiting for one cover, but the last of the art's in. I got to do some file editing and get it to my digital designer, McLean McGuire. He's going to handle a little bit of the digital stuff for me, and then we're going to get it put into print. Now, I wanted to talk about Prelude to Aurora because I don't usually talk about
Can I say
my
hi?
campaigns that much.
Can I say hi?
Can you say hi? Yeah, you can say hi. Sit down right here and say hi. Can you sit down right there? Just say hi.
Hi.
Okay, go on. I don't usually talk about my campaigns that much, but Prelude to Aurora is my latest. We actually did get funded a couple of months ago, and we haven't actually got to the printing. There's a lot of personal things that came up, and it's been a wild summer. I had one of my children that was in the hospital. One of my children in the hospital for a good few weeks. I was in the hospital for a week, and they put me on bed rest. Go on. Go with Dylan.
Okay.
And then we had a passing in the family, so that we were dealing with all that, but we're getting it all wrapped up, and we should get this book to print. I'm really looking forward to it. Prelude to Aurora. It was a great time to work with my artist Santa Spina, who was amazing. Of course, my letter and McLean McGuire, and all the people that are on it just have been just really great, especially with the time delays and everything. I wanted to talk about getting into comic stores. This is one of the things that I get asked about a lot. It's not exactly the easiest thing. We were going to have a guest on here that was going to help us talk about that, but it's one of those things that whenever you're making a comic, it's hard to figure out how you're going to sell it. Of course, going into conventions and selling is one way. Kickstarter, crowdfunding is definitely another way. And there's some people who specifically just kind of center on one or the other. I prefer to do a little bit of everything, and going into LCSs is a big help for me. So I started by just going and handing out ash cans, which was one of my first ways of relating to the comic book stores. I wanted to do something a little bit different that you don't see much nowadays. And even though I didn't want to do flyers or anything, we did ash cans, handed them out to the comic stores, and from there kind of just started relating to the comic stores, seeing what they needed and how we could help them, coming in and doing signings and sketch cards for people, and making an experience for the customers. Getting to know people really was the biggest thing, and it was like every comic store was a brand new family that opened up their arms to us, and we've gotten to know them, gotten to talk to them, and going out to the conventions, and especially whenever they go out there, it's been an experience. We've been hosted by a comic store or two at a convention, which Denton was an amazing experience for us. And Madness Comics out there in Denton was a great host for us. So we can't thank them enough. I mean, that, and then whenever we were with Collected, opening up their store in Irving, that was an amazing experience as well. So if you're trying to get into comic book stores, it's not an overnight thing. I tell people, don't expect to just walk in there and sell your comics right away. Sometimes you got to figure out how to kind of make the deal work. What's good for the comic store and what's good for you, and that's kind of the delicate balance of it all. I mean, obviously, I've heard some tales of creators just going in there and saying, "Hey, here's my comic. Here's how much it costs to take it or leave it," kind of thing. I don't think that's the right approach to it. I mean, whenever you're selling your comics, especially if it's an individual kind of thing, selling to an LCS, you got to understand that each LCS is different, just like every comic creator is different. I'm not going to make a comic the same way every other creator does. There's some creators that I don't know how to explain it, just sell on crowdfunding. So, I mean, it's like, I don't just spotlight my comics on crowdfunding. I'm a little bit diverse going into conventions and going into comic stores. So whenever you're talking to a comic store, you're not exactly going to be talking to the same person or doing the same deals or making the same arrangements with them. Kind of understand that when going in. Sometimes it took me 2 or 3 trips to comic stores before we even sold one. But I mean, it's been an experience. Like I say, you get to know these people. They open up their arms, like I said, like it's a brand new family, and being able to do signings at the stores, being able to be part of their events, getting to know their customers, and being able to help out and relate to the community that they're in. It's just an amazing thing. So what I'm basically saying is, anytime you go to the comic store, expect for it to be a little bit different. No two are the same, and just chit chat with them. I always say, go in there, act like you're talking to your best friend, because you could be, and we've met some best friends there, right?
Yeah.
You want to say hi to someone or another?
Hi to someone or another.
No. No. What else do we want to talk about?
The world.
The whole wide world.
Yes.
Do you have fun selling to comic book stores?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, because I remember that first time I had you sell to a comic store.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was
21 Comics, yeah.
21. It was out in. I always forget.
Far away.
Grapevine. Grapevine. It was past Irving, I think. But yeah, that was their first time, wasn't it? Yeah, and he bought some from you, didn't
I know, because I'm just that cool.
he? You should have heard him. He was, would you would you Dad?
I still be like that.
Well, it was so funny. I mean, it was funny because he actually had the ash can and knew the books that we were bringing in, but it was like Dylan was up there talking and I was standing back just helping
Picking
out,
on me.
whenever I
on me.
needed to, trying to train him and getting him to
Putting
understand.
bunny ears above me while he was talking. No,
Not that time. Next time.
What?
So we already talked about the Godzilla thing.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Geek Out?
Geek Out!
They are one of our sponsors. They've sponsored not only Prelude to Aurora, but helped sponsor us on the show. And they have some amazing news coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. Real big news.
Huge
news.
What kind of news is that?
They're opening a new store.
Dun, dun, dun. You should go help them.
I should.
You should.
I should.
Go up there and go stay the week and
okay.
Like fix up the store and be like, hey, I'll put everything up for you and 10
cents.
10 cents an hour?
10 cents a second.
10 cents an hour? Is that how much you're going to charge them?
No.
Where's it going to be?
For the whole thing. I have no clue.
You're not a good promotional person if you don't know where it's going to be.
You told me it.
Mansfield.
I've been Mansfield. I knew
Mansfield.
that. I knew that.
That's
that was
right. Geek Out is going to be opening their second location in Mansfield, Texas. Their first location is Burleson, and the second one's going to be in Mansfield, and it's going to be a sight to behold.
A sight to behold.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's we can't say congratulations enough because it's gonna be great.
Yeah, you're gonna see a new store.
Everyone talks about how comics are kind of dying off, and here we are. We just opened a store in Irving for Collected, and now in Mansfield for Geek Out. This is awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Burst your eardrums by the end of this.
I don't know why. Trying to be crazy.
I'm always crazy.
I don't.
Insane in the mean brain.
You are insane. Speaking of big celebrations, even though it's not an opening, ASAP Imagination. You know who ASAP is?
Yeah.
Who's ASAP?
Your publisher.
Dun dun dun. Why are you stealing that? Are you? Yeah.
Yeah! Hey! Really?
Hey, you wanted to ask him to come on the show?
I do. Hey, you ever want to come on my show? It's all mine, not his. Don't worry. You don't got to worry about him.
Speaking of ASAP Imagination is going to be hosting their second annual.
I have no clue. You never told me.
No, it's third. The third. I forget the years. I should write this down with my notes, but I don't. It's their annual celebration. They are a brand new publishing company out in UK, and we are with them with our digital comics. And yeah, yeah, awesome. We'd love to have you do it.
How do I do it?
I don't know. How do you do it?
It's punk. Yeah.
But ASAP is having their celebration. They're having a virtual con, if you will, and I'm going to be on it this Friday. It's going to be on their channel on ASAP Imagination on YouTube. But they're going to have a day-long celebration, I think, Thursday and Friday. I'm going to be at the end. The closing ceremonies on Friday. They're going to be talking about all their great books and their books in the Anyone World, which is their digital platform. That is going to be an amazing thing. They usually have a few games and giveaways and stuff like that to do. So, if you're not doing anything Thursday or Friday, check it out. You can jump in and out of the stream. Of course, it's on YouTube. You can always check it out afterwards. But, you can check out the comments while you're doing it. This one might try to get on. Hardest working kid in comics. That's what I say.
Yeah,
Right.
Just don't search those pictures up.
Don't search those pictures up. Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun. Speaking of celebrations, and this is a 4th annual celebration, that's Comic Chat Authority. If you don't know who Comic Chat Authority is, and Cody's a great guy. He does a lot of promotion and he does some reviews of comics. This is going to be his 4th year doing it. It's coming up, I think, September. And I definitely want to congratulate him for that. Comics Chat Authority is the one that did give us our first award for PTSD, one of the best indie comics of 2022. So I'm a little bit biased, but I think his channel is amazing. It's great, especially because it's not exactly, how do you say it, a straight popularity contest. They're not just voting all the time and counting the votes and seeing who gets in that way, because with the indies, a lot of comics don't get seen that often. So it's like they go read the books, they come back and they give you a review of the books, and they actually award the books on what they think of it, as opposed to, like I say, how many people vote for it. So I think that's a great thing to do. I'm of course for any type of awards, and I heard,
hand them all over.
I heard there's a lot of our friends that are nominated for the Ringos. I don't think the Ringos
The Ringos.
Well, the Ringos are one of the biggest awards out there for comics. You don't know what the Ringos are?
I didn't even know there were awards for comics besides.
The Eisner? You know what the Eisner is?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Do you know what the Eisner is? We had an Eisner award-winning editor help us.
Oh yeah,
Get
that's
started.
I remember
That's right.
that.
That's right. So yeah, but Comic Chat Authority is going to have their 4th annual celebration this September. We wanted to talk about that a little bit. What do you think about that?
Amazing, outstanding.
No, I'm serious. What do you think about the award stuff?
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unique.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's great that they do the reviews. It's great that they do the promotions. We've had some friends on there. We've been on there once. Or I have. This guy was sleeping, but
he wouldn't let me on. He knows it.
But I mean, that's one of those things that comes around, and we always have to see who's around at that time.
Yeah.
So what else you want to talk about? You want to talk about?
I had something in my mind.
Did you?
And then it blanked because of you.
It always blanks because of me. We can talk about wrestling. You want to talk about wrestling?
I don't know much of wrestling.
No.
I haven't been watching it.
The Rumble's coming out. Well, Backlash and the Rumble's coming out.
Backlash.
Yeah, Backlash is right after SummerSlam.
Oh, that's like a wrestling thing. Oh,
Yeah, pay-per-view. The big match is on. The pay-per-views once a month kind of thing. You know some
watch
wrestling.
I know some,
Right.
not a lot. So.
Well, I mean, we talked about Blue Beetle. You want to talk about the next movies coming out?
Next movie's coming out.
What are the next ones?
movies?
The Marvels, I think, is the next
Yeah,
one.
Miss Marvel for the
Marvel.
Marvels. Yeah, and then I think after that, that's gonna be what's the spider?
You know, Bueller actually had a question, I think, on Facebook the other day.
He did.
He was talking about speculations kind of evening out because a lot of the characters have been in movies and stuff. So do you think that the speculation is going to stop now that just about all the characters have been in movies? I mean, a lot of the movies are kind of not hitting as well as they used to.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that with a lot of stuff.
So do you think the speculation on the comics are going to stop?
I don't think so.
No.
I think whenever Marvel starts getting closer to their end game and DC starts going somewhere with whatever they're doing.
Okay, so Marvel getting closer to the end game. What is their new end game?
Kang.
Kang?
Yeah.
So the 2 Avenger movies.
But there's been a lot of stuff going on with that.
Well, they're all everything's delayed because of
Yeah,
this traffic. But
yeah.
you think it's going to pick back up whenever
it gets closer.
Do you think they'll stop or slow down? I've heard rumors that they might not make as many superhero movies as they have been.
I'm sure they'll slow down because of everything, like how them not really doing that well. I think they'll slow down a bit.
Now, I think, and this is my opinion, I think it's going to really hit whenever like Fantastic Four comes out. Fantastic Four's got a huge following, and I think there's a lot of people that are waiting for it. I think right now you're kind of getting those D-list movies and whatnot that are trying to be built up, and that's why they're not hitting as well. As far as DC, I don't know if it's ever going to get to where Marvel is. You know, it really didn't get that close anyway. You had everything that was, you know, Justice League was big, but
it wasn't
Endgame or Avengers kind of big, was
yeah.
it? So I don't know if it'll ever get to that point. I think they might just stop for a few years. Really depending on how Aquaman and Superman Legacy does. What do you think about Superman Legacy?
You know, I've heard about it, but I haven't been like listening on it.
So James Gunn, you know who James Gunn is?
Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy. Come on,
okay.
Man.
So James Gunn is rebooting the DCU.
Yeah,
it's not DCEU, it's DCU now, and Superman Legacy is supposed to be his
big hitter.
first movie. And they were saying, you know, Blue Beetle might be part of it, might not.
I hope it
and
is.
considering the fact that everybody's saying that it tanked, it might not.
Man, I like Blue Beetle.
Like I said, to me it was okay.
Especially those end credits.
I wouldn't say good, it was okay. Did you really like that last end credit?
I didn't like the last one, but like the second from last one, yeah,
it was okay.
It
reminded me of the Marvel one at the end of Infinity. You know, she came on the radio, or got the beeper came on with the symbol. That was just about it. Well, so it kind of reminded me of that. I'm not going to say exactly what it was.
It kind of reminded me of that too, but I mean, that turned out huge, didn't it? So, I mean, it brought someone huge back into it.
Yeah, but if you're going to do an end credit, you need to do something new and better and
like
bigger.
Loki end credit. Ooh.
The Loki end credit was good.
I can't wait for Loki too.
Loki was good.
Yeah.
So do you think that the Marvel TV shows are doing better than the movies are?
I do. I really do. I think they're doing a lot better.
Did you finish watching Secret Invasion?
I have not started it. So.
Obviously, they're not doing as good as they were.
Well, I mean, it's I just didn't get into the first episode, and I was like, I almost backed away from it instantly. And then all the stuff with the AI art, and it kind of...
Yeah, we're not going to talk about AR at this time. I mean, there's plenty to talk about that sooner or later. But I mean, it's hard to figure out what's going to go up and what's going to not go up, especially with all the Hollywood stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know what people are going to spec on nowadays. It's like they're not really following that many artists.
Yeah.
And the stories don't seem to be hitting as hard as they used to.
I haven't been reading a lot of comics.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess we've been putting most of the money into comics.
Yeah. So.
But you were thinking about doing a review show soon, so hopefully we'll be able to get that going, and then you'll be able to read them and tell us what you think.
Hopefully, I'll start getting back into it.
And like I said, I'm really interested in hearing what a teenager thinks nowadays, because I still think, you know, that's the audience that's not getting catered to as much. So, you know, if we get you on a review show and maybe get someone else your age to kind of co-host that, getting a fresh perspective, maybe we'll figure out what's going to get spec'd on a little bit more then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's next?
What is next? Well, we talked about Comic Chat Authority. They're going to be hitting 4, and then ASAP's going to be hitting 3 years, which I think's great stuff. We got a lot of friends who are running campaigns. Carissa Graham's running her campaign right now. She's fully funded, but you know, she's always looking for an extra backer or two to see some eyes on her comic. And then, did you hear about the Red Ranger's second book coming out?
He had a first.
He had a first. Redemption? It was by Charter Comics.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
You're talking about the actor. I thought you were talking about like a Red Ranger solo.
And he's going to be at our next at the next convention that we're going to be at, which is going to be College Station. Woo! Yeah, the 9th and the 10th. And like I said, hopefully I'm going to have all my books there. I had to reorder some of Cryptic Haze, and we're going to print on Prelude hopefully this week or next. But College Station is going to be the next, place that we're going to be at, and the Red Ranger's supposed to be there. I'm going to be running into him.
Yeah,
Didn't you want to talk to him?
Yeah, I wanted to get a picture.
You wanted to talk to him last time?
Yeah.
And you just didn't get a chance to?
Yeah. No.
So sad.
I know. Wake up.
Sad.
I was hanging out with Sam though.
You were hanging around all the artists. That's right. Sam's going to be at
College Station. Sam.
Yeah.
Big ball.
Big baller. So what else we got? That's about it I got for this week.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about Blue Beetle. We talked about getting into comic stores. We really wanted to talk more with some managers of some comic stores, and we're definitely going to look into that. We were supposed to have Charles here, but he was doing.
He got busy with the new opening.
And like I said, them at Geek Out opening that next store, that's great. That's amazing. Whenever everyone's talking about how comics are dying, these new stores are popping up. That definitely gives me hope.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing fun getting to know them and getting into some new stores. We're hopefully going to look into getting a few new stores, carrying our books soon.
Yeah. Maybe Bueller can help us with that. Going all the way around the world.
All the way around the world.
All the way.
Well, I think that's all I got this week.
Yeah.
I
have no clue.
You have no clue. That was it. Like I said, getting into comic stores. We talked about Prelude. Talked about Apple TV and Godzilla, that Godzilla show and that Invasion show. Apple TV's been really, hitting its stride. So, if you're looking for something good to see, check it out for a month.
Watch our shows.
Or watch our shows. That's right.
Yeah.
I really wasn't disappointed with Apple TV.
Entire world.
The entire world. What else you got? That's it. That's all I got this week. We got a guest coming in next week. I don't know if he's going to be here or not, but we got
hopefully I will.
George. We got George Medina's coming in next week.
Sam's friend.
That is Sam's friend. He's also working on a new project with ASAP Imagination, so we're going to talk to him about ASAP, and he's been working on this platform called Gig, which kind of brings creators together. We're going to talk to him next week about that. So that's definitely something we want to talk about. I want to send a shout out to Fred Keel, which is a friend of ours. I've been reading some of his Queen Cobras, which I got all of those books this last convention. And, that's it. Oh, I wanted to talk about Texoma. I think McLean and Chris are starting a convention in Texoma.
Oh, yeah.
I'll talk more about that next time.
Well, we only got 30 minutes, though.
Well, we thought we were going to have a guest.
Yeah.
We can talk about me picking on you for 30 minutes.
You mean you steal my hat?
I don't. I would have brought like a book or two. We could show all the other things like PTSD again. But usually I don't like
this.
Yeah, we could talk about that. PTSD.
I couldn't help you talk about this.
Oh, this next one,
Yeah.
Cherry Blossom. That was an 6-page romantic book or story that I wrote that I was going to get into an anthology. They decided to drop it. I showed a few of my friends, some of the girls, and I was like, I'm not used to writing romantic stuff. They absolutely loved it, and because of that, I went ahead and got the pages done, put it all together, and I actually just got it put together 2 or 3 weeks ago. Lori Calcaterra. I don't, you know who Lori is, right? Path of the
You
Pale
mean-
Rider.
Yeah.
She actually did the lettering for me. I don't know if you've seen this.
No, I haven't. This is the only.
I was thinking about just putting it on Facebook free for everybody, but you know, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Inktober. You know what Inktober is?
No.
So put this down.
Okay.
So for the month of October, a lot of artists get lists of like characters and draw these characters one per day. So I've been starting to learn to draw and trying to
That's a lot of drawing.
Well, I mean that's kind of the challenge. It's kind of like getting that stuff done.
Are they like drawing it like taking hours on it like these ones?
Yeah, some of them do. I mean, some of them they don't look that good, but I know like Ariel did it last year, and her stuff's always good.
I mean, one's right here, so I mean.
Yeah, Ariel's amazing. But Inktober, an artist usually gets a list of characters and draws one per day and kind of shows their work and their progression and stuff like that. I just started drawing myself a few months ago, and I kind of wanted to partake in Inktober, so I'm going to offer, some of my art to my fans for $10. You could get an original piece, and this is going to be an 8 by what's normal size 8 by 11, 8 by 11, and you're going to get a sketch card of whatever character you let me know of. So if, like you say, you want Wolverine,
you mean Blue Beetle? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you want Blue Beetle on October 1st, if you're first in line, I'll draw Blue Beetle for that day and on an original piece, and I'll send it to you for $10. But I thought that was a good thing to do. Just cover the cost of shipping, and I'm going to do the work for you and just send it out. It's something for me to practice on and something for me to give to some of my fans. The community, that's right. And of course, at College Station, I'm going to be giving out sketch cards like I have been, which, man, they great. People have been loving
Prelude at college?
We might, because we just got all the art in, yeah. As long as
I need to read it, so.
Yeah.
I can't read it online. I need to read it in papers.
Yeah, well, I know you like to have it in your hand, which is great. Me being the creator, I have to check it out before I get it in hand.
Read it online. I mean, that's like.
And I think that's a good thing. Some people like the digital. Some people love to have it in their hand. That's great. I like the fact that you do that. Of course.
My hair's amazing.
Yeah, that's all we got.
I'm super.
Next time we'll have George. We'll be talking about a whole list of stuff. And like I said, if you're looking to hear from us some more, I will be streaming online Friday with ASAP Imagination. A whole day of convention.
And hopefully I'll be streaming on Wednesday next week. If not Wednesday, and next week Wednesday. And maybe we'll have Bueller. Who knows?
We'll get that set up.
Yeah.
Let them know who you are.
Dylan Moore, the one, the only, hardest working kid in comics.
Visit him on his eBay page. He's selling some junk, and he's always putting stuff on there.
I'm trying to.
Who am I? Paul Gomez 790. And like I always say, at the end of my show, if you ever have any questions about comics, if you need anything that you need to know, if I can't answer it, I'll find somebody who can help you out. So look me up, Paul Gomez 790 on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, mainly Facebook. If you're having a bad day and just need somebody to talk to, hey, I'd rather hear your complaints than hear that something bad happened. So look me up, Paul Gomez 790. That's all I got. Woo! Have a great night. Have a great week.